Good day. Our group comprised of Jenie Añonuevo, Sophia Isabel S. Cauilan, Matt Dylan S. Geli, and Arrabela R. Lumanglas will be presenting our research paper entitled Measuring and Describing the Impact of Sustainable Customer Experience Management Practices on Customer Satisfaction of Publicly Listed Casual Dining Corporations in the Philippines. The food industry plays a significant role in our daily lives, and customer satisfaction is crucial for the success of food businesses. While numerous studies have examined customer satisfaction through various management strategies, there is a gap in understanding the role of sustainability in this context, especially in emerging markets like the Philippines. And our study aims to bridge this gap by investigating how sustainable practices such as cleanliness and hygiene standards, food quality, customer service, employee training on sustainability, and the use of biodegradable packaging impact customer satisfaction.
So, the overarching problem that our research aims to answer is what is the impact of current sustainable customer experience management practices on customer satisfaction in the context of Philippine casual dining industry. So, kindly refer to your screen for the specific questions of our research. For our research objectives, these aim to measure the impact of current sustainable customer experience management practices on customer satisfaction in the context of Philippine casual dining industries, which essentially answers the three questions previously presented, and these are the following which you can view on your screen.
These are the first and second sets of hypotheses for the cleanliness and hygiene standards and perceived quality of taste of food and beverages. Moreover, these are the third and fourth sets of the hypothesis for reputation for customer service and hospitality, and regular employee training on sustainable practices and customer engagement. And this is the fifth and last set of hypotheses for use of biodegradable and compostable packaging materials.
For the significance of our study, the SDGs that may be addressed in our research are 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10, along with the RVR Code of Ethics, emphasizing care centered management and stakeholder development driven by long term actions. So, for our scope limitations and delimitations, we aim to resolve the contextualized gap in the type of companies, local, and casual dining, and focus on the customer's perspective following a simple holistic approach. Hence, we will not be covering the other industries as well as the managerial perspective.
Despite extensive literature on customer experience management, there is a notable gap in understanding the role of sustainability within this context, particularly in emerging markets like the Philippines. Thorpe and Prakash Mani, last 2013, reports that existing studies often focus on either customer satisfaction or sustainability practices, but rarely do they integrate both aspects within the casual dining industry. This gap is significant because it overlooks how sustainability initiatives might influence customer perceptions and behaviors in these settings. Moreover, there's a lack of distinction between product based and service based industries in the context of sustainable products. Abdullah and others found last 2022 that most research tends to generalize findings across different sectors, which may not accurately reflect the unique challenges and opportunities within the casual dining industry. Another gap is limited focus on the practical implementation of sustainable customer experience management policies. While theoretical frameworks exist, Ali and others posited last 2021 that there's insufficient empirical evidence on how these practices are perceived by customers and their actual impact on satisfaction levels.
Our study employs a mixed methods approach with a convergent parallel design to investigate sustainable customer experience management in casual dining restaurants. This means we'll collect quantitative and qualitative data simultaneously, then compare and merge the findings. Our research design framework incorporates several key elements. It's a formal study following precise procedures to test hypotheses. We'll use interrogation methods like surveys and interviews to collect data. It's an ex post facto design, meaning we won't manipulate variables but report on existing conditions. This descriptive study aims to measure current practices and their impact. It's cross sectional, conducted at a single point in time. We'll use statistical analysis to draw inferences from our sample. The study will occur under real world field conditions. And finally, it follows a no deviations design, meaning participants will experience normal restaurant conditions without interventions from researchers.
For data collection, we utilized a mixed methods approach. Consequently, we conducted surveys and one-on-one interviews with customers. The survey, distributed via Google Forms, included questions on cleanliness and hygiene standards, perceived food quality and taste, customer service and hospitality, employee training on sustainable practices, and the use of biodegradable packaging materials. Moreover, we gathered responses from 100 survey participants aged 14 to 45. Additionally, we conducted in-depth interviews with four participants to gain qualitative insights into their dining experiences. Moving on to data analysis, we employed both quantitative and qualitative techniques. For the quantitative analysis, we used multiple linear regression to assess the impact of various factors on customer satisfaction. We then calculated descriptive statistics, conducted ANOVA tests, and performed regression analysis to identify significant predictors. Meanwhile, for the qualitative analysis, we used thematic analysis to identify recurring themes from the interview, and these themes provided deeper insights into the quantitative findings, highlighting the practical and emotional aspects of customer satisfaction.
The theoretical framework that we have used for this research came from a Barrett study, which posits on the role of various CRM, customer relationship management user antecedents towards customer outcomes, specifically customer loyalty and customer satisfaction. In this framework, there is also the mediating variable, which is CRM implementation. Adapting the previous theoretical framework to our conceptual framework, we now have five independent variables that may have a significant impact on customer satisfaction. Specifically, these independent variables include firstly, cleanliness and hygiene standards, second, perceived quality and taste of food and beverages, third, reputation for customer service and hospitality, fourth, employee training and sustainability and customer relationship management, and lastly, the use of sustainable and compostable packaging materials. We will now be moving on the quantitative analysis, specifically the regressional model analysis on the five independent variables. Firstly is cleanliness and hygiene standards. It can be seen that among these four variables, three of them have been found statistically significant on the three establishments. Specifically for cleanliness rating, it has been found statistically significant among all three establishments, while for food safety practice and confidence, it's only been found statistically significant for Jollibee, while for the importance of sanitation and cleanliness has only been found significant for the establishment of Shakey's. The second independent variable to be evaluated is perceived food quality and taste. So among these four indicators, only one indicator has been found to be statistically significant and which is found to be significant among the three establishments, which is taste rating. So the rating of taste or perceived food quality and taste has been found to be statistically significant for Jollibee, McDonald's, and Shakey's. That same observation can be seen in our third independent variable, which is reputation for customer service and hospitality. The only indicator to be found statistically significant among all three or any of the three establishments, Jollibee, McDonald's, and Shakey's, is the staff friendliness of the companies. For our fourth independent variable, which is reputation for regular employee training and sustainability practices and customer engagement, only two variables or indicators have been found to be statistically significant among and all of the three establishments. Firstly is customers' engagement and sustainability practices, and lastly is the likelihood of being recommended due to sustainability practices being seen by customers. So these two indicators have been found to be statistically significant between all three establishments specified. Lastly is the fifth variable regarding sustainability practices. So among these four indicators, only three has been found to be statistically significant, although with varying success depending on which establishment we consider. Firstly is let's discuss on the third indicator, the preference for establishments using sustainable packaging. This particular indicator has been found to be statistically significant for all three establishments, which means that this indicator or this opinion is a driving force between customers that impacts customer satisfaction. Next is the second indicator, sustainable packaging and its environmental impact, in which it only has a statistically significant impact on McDonald's and Shakey's. Lastly is the first indicator, the importance of sustainable packaging use, when it has only been found a statistically significant impact on the customers of Shakey's.
To supplement data for the research, we interviewed 4 individuals that meet the demographic background stated in the quantitative analysis. So the qualitative analysis portrayed the outlook of customers on high profit and publicly listed casual dining restaurants, specifically Jollibee, McDonald's, and Shakey's, towards their sustainable customer experience practices if these truly made an impact. Alright, so let's break down the statistical antecedents with its subthemes. So to start, cleanliness and hygiene. So viewing this at a pragmatic lens, all recurring themes for cleanliness and hygiene points to how it is essential for customer satisfaction, to the point of it being a make or break for the overall experience. Consequently, customers feel that a tidy and a sanitary dining room elevates the whole atmosphere. Meanwhile, at a critical realist perspective, the focus on cleanliness is a reflection of the fundamental societal ideas and standards about sanitation and health. Moving on to the perceived quality and taste of food. So let's start off with the expectation subtheme. Pragmatically, customers' expectations for meal quality vary based on the category of the restaurant. Fast food franchises such as Jollibee and McDonald's are anticipated to offer inexpensive and convenient meals, whilst casual dining establishments like Shakey's are projected to deliver superior quality food in light of their higher price range. Meanwhile, on a critical realist perspective, food holds significant cultural value as it is serving not just nourishment but also as a crucial component of social and familial connections. So, next is the consistency issues. On a pragmatic lens, this entails that ensuring a consistent standard of food quality and taste is essential for preserving customer loyalty and happiness. Moreover, critical realism exhibits that there exists a difference in expectations between Jollibee and McDonald's to that of Shakey's, reflecting an underlying socio-economic condition in its target markets. As such, the perceived worth and excellence are linked in the cost and strategic placement of the brand. We posit that there is a higher expectation to deliver excellent food quality if customers paid more for it. For reputation for customer service and hospitality, the first subtheme we found was friendliness and attentiveness. So, for its pragmatic framework, good customer service improves the dining experience as it can set the business apart from their competitors. Consequently, for critical realism, we underscore the importance of interpersonal dimension of dining experience as it is genuine human connection that drive customer satisfaction through customer service. The next theme would be areas for improvement. Pragmatically speaking, the first encounter with the staff, especially with the cashier, establishes the overall ambience of the dining experience. Now, at the critical realist perspective, the initial encounter and proactive assistance carry significant weight as they mirror wider social demands for hospitality and customer service, especially in the Philippines where it is known for. So next, we have the statistical antecedent of regular employee training on sustainable practices and customer engagement. So for visibility, in a pragmatic lens, minimal influence is observed since customers focus more on what they're paying for and the dining area. This is also aligned with the theme of value for money under overall satisfaction and recommendations, which I will mention later on, as factors related to food consumption become their utmost priority. However, there is still a hint of influence in applying critical realism since customers are also able to notice that there is a lack of transparency, posing skepticism on customers. So, on a more positive note, customers also extend a sense of compassion and understanding as to why sustainability practices by employees are not seen, such as the variable of low salary. Next subtheme is responsibility and importance. So, anchored again by the pragmatic philosophy, larger chains have a bigger responsibility to abide by sustainability since they are equipped with more financial resources to invest in sustainable practices. The responses from the interviewees reveal that sustainability efforts are parallel with the company's influence and size. Horish and Johnson's say that the implementation of study on the implementation of sustainability management and company size also suggests that there is significant correlation. So, since Jollibee, McDonald's, and Shakey's were described by the interviewees as large companies, they pointed out that they play a big role. In addition, customers have higher expectations due to the comparison with smaller businesses, that those sustainability efforts, majorly geared towards packaging, were pointed out, they are not enough. The second to the last statistical antecedent is the use of biodegradable and compostable packaging materials. So, the only subtheme we have for this is the increased importance. The pragmatic perspective towards customers' responses are seen through their intended purpose for packaging recommendations, such as the wooden cutlery for takeouts and sturdier meal packaging for on the go meals. So, the practical purpose of this reveals that customers see the importance of biodegradable and compostable packaging to lessen the disposal frequency and avoid spillings. This correlates with the critical realistic lens, wherein the data implies that customers perceive the importance of sustainable packaging for short term convenience, so this is only limited to what meets the eye, for example, the turtle video. Hence, the greater bearing towards the practical considerations despite the increasing environmental issues. Lastly, we have the overall satisfaction and recommendations. So for this, we have two sub-themes. The first one is family-friendly and nostalgic. So in a pragmatic lens with relation to critical realism, customers find it practical to dine at Jollibee, McDonald's, and Shakey's because they can bring along their family members. This is in line with the Filipino culture of family-orientedness, where dining preference and satisfaction is influenced by the habitual dining practices of sharing a meal together, which is usually done in Filipino households. So the responses from the interviews go beyond the individualistic values because another main point raised for recommendations includes the benefit to the Filipino masses. Lastly is the value for money. Using a pragmatic lens, customers prioritize affordability and convenience in the three casual dining restaurants wherein, and I quote, they go there to eat. This is where sustainability becomes just a value add instead of a primary driver. The critical realistic reasoning behind this stems from the preconceived notion of fast foods and past experiences wherein setting standards because they are just fast food restaurants, or in other words, it's already good for its price. So you can see the two quotes that I pasted to give evidence to this statement. So to sum up our findings, all four interviewees are mostly satisfied by Jollibee, McDonald's, and Shakey sustainable CEM practices, but do not count this as a primary driver. This is because among all the presented subthemes per statistical antecedent, the interviewees would deem direct food-related factors as their top priority. This means that, overall, the interviewees understood the importance of sustainability. However, it was still geared towards practicality, which was highlighted by our relation to our chosen research philosophies, pragmatism, and critical realism.
In conclusion, in combining the significant findings from the mixed methods, there's an alignment between the direct practices concerning the customer's dining experience, and our research indicates that while sustainability practices are valued, they are not the primary drivers of customer satisfaction in casual dining establishments. Customers prioritize core factors such as food quality, cleanliness, and customer service. And this aligns with the findings in the quantitative analysis in which the statistically significant variables encapsulate the factors that directly correlate with the product offerings rather than the sustainability practices.
Based on our comprehensive study of sustainable customer experience management in casual dining establishments, we have three key recommendations. First, prioritize core dining experience factors. Focus on the fundamentals that customers value most: the taste and quality of food, cleanliness and hygiene standards, and excellent customer service. These elements form the foundation of customer satisfaction and should be your primary focus. Second, balance sustainability standards with practical operations. While sustainability is important, it needs to be implemented in ways that don't compromise the core dining experience. We recommend using sustainable packaging materials, communicating your sustainability efforts more transparently to address any customer skepticism, and focusing on visible sustainability practices that customers can easily recognize and appreciate. Finally, enhance employee training. Your staff are the face of your establishment and play a crucial role in customer satisfaction. Invest in comprehensive training programs that cover not only customer service skills and menu knowledge, but also educate employees on your sustainability initiatives. This will enable them to effectively communicate these efforts to your consumers.
And with that, thank you so much for listening to our presentation.